What's up, YouTube? Prodigy here checking in. I have a Blue Eyes deck update for you guys. Couple quick shout outs, just the usual. Everybody in the KCP, Emma Blue Eyes 10, Kalo Shade, Scapegoat User, Dark Position, um, um, Chris Damon Dragon, and everybody else in the KCP. Usual, Rion from the Shadow, um, Dragon Duelist Girl, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and go through with the deck profile. A few changes, but they're definitely essential, just based off of testing and things that work and don't work. So here we go. We've got the staple 3 Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Really easy to summon, like I always say. Remove a dragon type from play, special summon this from your hand. Once it's on the field, you can special summon any dragon type from your hand or graveyard. So, gotta have this card, um, especially with the Blue Eyes build for the Disaster Dragon deck. Um, this is Blue Eyes White Dragon. Strongest normal monster in the game, 3,000 attack, 25 defense, no effect, which um, a skill drain build is becoming more. It's become pretty popular right now. Of course, this gets over that. It has no effect anyway, so it's not a big deal. And there's this new card that came out in Photon Shockwave called Deep Dark Trap Hole, and it targets level 5 or higher effect monsters. So this gets around that too. So it's just a nice card to have. We've got a Prime Material, protects you from life point burn and protects your monsters from destruction by discarding. We've got 3 Quaki Miru. As I always say, #1 contender right now, stops all light and dark summons. Yeah, it could stop you, but not nearly as bad as it stops your opponent. And plus, if this becomes too much of a headache as far as your plays are concerned, it's good synchro material because it has doesn't require a tribute. So definitely something to play in a variety of ways. 2 Wyvern, basically for its graveyard effect, mostly. Just by removing this from your graveyard, you can special summon another Red Eyes monster from your grave, i.e., Red Eyes Darkest Metal, or I don't know why you'd ever do this, but in certain situations, you can get another Wyvern out in case you're trying to do like a last minute synchro. So, a couple plays with that. 3 Masks. This is your searcher, thins out the deck, and gets you to your 1500 dragon. Um, Lots of targets itself. Totem Dragon, Delta Flyer, and White Stone. So very versatile card as well. We've got our Delta Flyer. This makes synchroing into those very popular synchro dragon types very easily. Um, you can either combo it with a level 3 and go for a level 6 or a level 7. You can exceed summon for level 3, rank 3s, or you can synchro this with a Totem Dragon or with a White Stone and get level 5. So lots of plays here. We've got our Totem Dragon. This is your how you're going to pretty much play it like a Treeborn. When you control no monsters after submitting your graveyard during your standby phase, you can special summon it. It can be 2 tributes for a dragon type. If you special summon it and remove it from the field using its effect, then it's removed from play. And with then exceeds, again, like I always say, you have ways of recycling this card. And I've made a video about that before, so check it out if you have more questions. And finally, a White Stone of Legend. This is going to get your Blue Eyes to your hand. Also works very nicely with Quaki Miru Drago. If this is in your graveyard, you can kind of recycle this card to make sure that you keep a Blue Eyes in your hand. Of course, since there's only 3 Blue Eyes, be careful with that play. But definitely an option here to be able to keep Drago on the field. So it has a lot of uses too. It's a tuner, and then of course it's your search to put your Blue Eyes in your hand. So that's the monster lineup. Pure disaster build. Not really so much disaster control because there's no LAD, no Galaxy Eyes, but purely a disaster build. All about beat sticks on that. So here we go with the spells. All right. First, essential is Future Fusion. I have a lot of protection for back rows in this deck. Future Fusion is an essential card. It's what gives you your graveyard control, which is completely necessary in this build. Basically, you put any 5 dragon types in the grave, and then 2 turns later you get a five god dragon. Um, the biggest thing though is making sure you get those dragons in the grave. So definitely want to be aware of that with this play. If your opponent is back row heavy, I mean, if they got 4 back rows, try and hold on to this if you can. I mean, if you have to play it, I mean, if it's like your only choice, then I mean, by all means, go for it. But I mean, you really want to be able to get at least the 5 dragons in the grave. If it gets popped before 5 headed comes out, no big deal. But definitely want to be able to get the effect off for the graveyard. Heavy Storm, staple. Dark Hole, staple. Reborn, staple. I go with 2 MSTs because I run Heavy Storm. 2 gold Sarkos. Main target's going to be Future Fusion for this. If you don't draw Future Fusion, you don't get it with Pod Duality. Um, you know, you can definitely use Gold Sarko. It's a little slower, and a lot can happen between 2 standby phases. But I mean, it's definitely something that you can start gearing up for once you remove it from play. As far as the Future Fusion using this card. Um, so it definitely helps. You can get your back row set. You can kind of control your opponent's back row. Lots of plays with this card. So yeah. And then finally, 2 Pod Dualities. Still a very good card. Um, Basically, thins out the deck. The fact that it stops you from special summoning isn't a huge deal. Again, be very careful when you play this card. Um, but yeah, I mean, definitely good for draw power, especially because they're so cheap now. But here we go with the traps. Staple Solemn Judgment. Card's amazing. Stops everything, basically. The fact that you have to pay half your life points makes it very easy to misplay. Because it's a lot easier to contend with 8,000 life points than it is with 4. So just be very, very careful when you're playing this. Solemn at the right time. If it gets popped, don't try and solemn something just out of desperation. So, yeah. Mirror Force, lots of swarm decks right now. You've got your fairies, your rabbits, lots of things right now that can get your opponent's monster row set pretty thick. Miracle Fusion. Mirror Force will definitely help out with that. So, Starlight Road. People will knock this card, but against the Light Sworn Twilight build, with your staples being Dark Hole and Heavy Storm. I mean, this card's can definitely save you a lot here. Plus, it gives you that Stardust Dragon, which you can recycle with Red Eyes. So it's definitely worth putting in the deck. Dark Bribe, more versatile than 7 Tools, which is a popular dragon card right now. Dark Bribe stops pretty much anything, and MST, things like Creature Swap and really annoying cards, spells that 7 Tools was not able to stop. Your opponent does get to draw, however, this can be a crucial to stop one of their plays. We've got Standard Disaster, 2 Deep Prisons, Standard 2 Bottomless, and Standard 2 Solemn Warnings. So that's the main deck. Now the extra deck. Few changes here. The first one, Catastor. Now Catastor is really, really good. Not only does it have a really awesome effect, but it's a level 5 dark monster. And I'm going to come back to why that's awesome later. But basically, when this card does battle with any card that's not dark, it's automatically destroyed by card effects. So, awesome card. We've got a Brionic, Orient Dragon. When it's synchro summoned, you can banish one of your opponent's synchro monsters. That's crazy. Black Rose, staple. Exploder, very nice card. Like the burn damage. It'll probably be replaced once I get my extra deck back like I want it, but for right now, it's definitely a good card, especially because it's a level 7 Dark Monster, which again, I'll come back to. We've got a Colossal Fighter, the gift that keeps on giving. All right, this card, Dark-End Dragon. Crazy, all right? And this is what I was referring to when I was talking about Exploder and Catastor. Because basically you have two big tuners in this deck. One's Delta Flyer, which can be used to synchro with Catastor, and the other one is Whitestone Legend, which can be used to synchro with Exploder Dragonwing to get Dark End out. And Dark End basically pops a card and just loses 500 attack every time it does it. So very, very nice card. I really enjoy playing with this. Then we've got our two Stardust Dragons, mainly because I run the Starlight Road. You know, so one basic for Starlight Road and one basically for a normal Synchro Summon. Got Red Dragon Archfiend, just in case you need a little extra power there. And if they have a lot of things set in defense mode, definitely a good card. Then we've got our Trident Dragon, amazing. Our 5-headed for our Future Fusion. It's going to Exceeds. Leviair, get your Wyverns back, your Totem. Very easy to exceed with a 2 Delta Flyers, a Delta Flyer and a Master Dragon, Delta Flyer, Totem Dragon. So very nice card. We've got our number 17. Again, to recycle those Totem Dragons because once you use Totem Dragon's effect, play Delta Flyer from your hand, bump the Totem Dragon up, exceed. When you use its effect, Totem will go back to the grave because it's not going from the field, quote unquote, to the grave. So very nice little trick around that. And Thunder-End Dragon. It's like Judgment Dragon, just basically overlay 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Then once you detach an overlay unit, you destroy all other monsters on the field besides this. So it's not as good as Judgment, but it has no cost besides the detaching of an overlay unit. So, but it has to be 2 level 8 normal monsters. And honestly, unless you're doing the disaster build, it's hard to get 2 Blue Eyes out at the same time, especially because I don't run 2 Call of the Haunted or even 1 Call of the Haunted. But since I have 3 Red Eyes Darkness Metals, it's really easy for me to special summon 2 Blue Eyes and exceed into this. So it's very easy. But that's the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys have any questions or if you want to make any suggestions. Always, up to hear it. And if you guys want to, definitely check out some other Dragon Players pages. Also, and I'll list a couple links down there for the other Dragon Duelists. But definitely also check out the structure deck coming out February 7th. It's the Dragonic Legion. Should be crazy. I'm really excited about it. But this is going to be Prodigy signing out. Rate, comment, subscribe. Peace.